Welcome to Recover in Place. For today's mobility routine, we'll be doing some hip exercises. What you're going to need is some floor space. You can get a mat as an option here, also something to sit on for later. So let's start off on the ground here. I'm going to come into the frog position. So with this, my knees are going to be placed outside of my hips. You can start off kind of like where you would squat from. If you want a little extra out of this, go a little bit wider. Once I've got that placed, two options. I can go off of basically the straight arm version here, where I'm going to keep a nice long neutral spine, and I'm thinking about sitting back and coming forward. If you want a little extra, come down the forearms, start at 90, sit back and coming forward. Always keeping a neutral spine, so I'm not rounding as I set myself back here. A little bit of tension in those abs as you basically sit back will help us out in keeping a neutral spine. Let's get 10 reps here, 10 repetitions. Here we go. Nice and smooth, breathe. Nice, once you got your 10 repetitions, we're going to stay in this position, and we're going to think about doing some rotation here, all right? From the hip, we're going to think about rotating the upper leg in, all right? So a little bit of internal rotation. So as I rotate from the hip and I come in, notice how basically the lower leg and the foot pop off the ground here, all right? So I'll show you that again, rotating from the hip, rotating that leg in, and I pop off here. So we're going to be holding that for basically 10 seconds. I'm going to think about keep rotating in the whole time, so I'm going to get some nice activation from that hip. All right, so from here, rotate and hold and go for it. Think about keep rotating, right? You might kind of open that up a little bit more as we're doing this. Nice and relax. Let's get the other side. So I'm just going to change my position. So again, you may have found a little bit of cramping there, might be a little tightness. If you found some cramping, walk it off, come back, move it around a little bit. Pretty common on the cramping if you felt that sensation. So I'm gonna set myself up again, right? Knees outside of the hips here, coming down from that squat position a little wider on the forearms at 90. From here, I'm going to think about rotating that upper leg in, right? Kind of pops off the lower leg and foot. And we think about holding this for 10 seconds. Keep rotating in and go. Nice. Once you got that, we're going to reset that position. Coming out. So we've gotten basically internal rotation from the hip on both sides. So now we're going to go out, or external rotation of both hips. So for this exercise, we're going to be on our side. So if you want a pillow for your head, go ahead and grab a pillow. I'm just going to use my arm. So from here, the bottom leg is going to be bent at 90 degrees. So the knee is in line with that hip joint. Top leg can be bent or straight, whatever is most comfortable for you. Pressing this knee down into the ground. We're going to think about rotating that upper leg from the hip, which will pop again the lower leg and the foot off. We're going to think about keep rotating out here for 10 seconds. And go. Good. And we're going to relax and switch sides. So from here, coming to that sideline position again. Start there. Want a pillow for your head, go ahead and grab one. We're going to bend the bottom leg. It's going to be at 90 degrees. Top leg's either straight or bent, whichever is most comfortable for you. That bottom leg is what we're focusing on, right? Knee is in line with that hip joint here. Press the knee down into the ground. All right, think about rotating that upper leg out. We'll pop the lower leg of the foot off the ground, keep driving the knee down, hold this for 10 seconds, so keep thinking about rotating. 10 seconds. Once you got to 10 seconds, slowly coming out of that. Again, you may have found a little crampy sensation. You can almost hold it for less. Do a little bit of walking around. Cramping is pretty normal with these positions. Our next one, we'll be using the box, or there is an advanced, basically one I'll show you from the ground as well. So let's hop on the box first, or a seat or a chair, whatever you got, just some firmer surface. So from here, what we're going to think about doing is extending the leg, and we're going to get rotating in and out from the hip. All right, so I'm rotating the full leg in and out. All right, so if I want a little bit less from this, I can sit back. If I want a little bit more, I can start sitting forward, because now I'm going to have to deal with holding this leg up. All right, so if I want less, I'm going to be back here, because now I only have to basically support this part of the leg and out. If I'm here, I now have to support from here out, so it's a little bit more work here for the hip. So it's kind of up to you what you want to pick on that. So nice and tall here, leg comes out, rotating the whole leg in, so notice the foot turns in, and then the foot turns out. So another view from this side here. So I'm coming up, all right, rotating in as best you can, rotating out, rotating in and out. So we're going to try and get 5 each side, all right? So before we do this one, I also want to show you the ground version, which will make things much more challenging. In case that's for you, just want to show it to you. So if I'm doing the ground version, I like to think about hugging my other leg here, nice and tall. Abs are going to come on. You're going to lift the leg off, and then internal extra rotation of the leg, rotating leg. So that is going to be pretty hard. That may kind of cramp your quad a little bit. So find an option that works for you. Right, I'll just kind of do this one here. So we're going to go 5 each side here. So we're coming up here. So go in, out, back to center. That's 1. In, out, back to center. 2. In, out, back to center. 3. In, out, back to center. 4. In, out, back to center. And 5. All right, so you should have felt a lot working through the hip. If you're doing the seated option with me, make sure you keep those abs on. Don't round your back. It's not, otherwise you're going to start feeling the low back. If you start feeling the low back, please regress this to the seating position. All right, switching legs here. I'll just switch myself around. So either off of the chair or off the ground. I'm just going to do the other ground option here. So if I'm doing the ground option, I'm hugging the leg. If you're doing the one where you're sitting in the chair, just extend the leg out in front of you, keep it straight. From here, if you're doing the ground option, lift the leg. We're going to go in, out, back center, that's 1. In, out, back center 2. In, out, back center 3. In, out, back center 4. In, out, back center 5. Nice. That is all I've got for you today. So thanks for coming by and checking this out. This has been Recover in Place.